Hello everyone, welcome you all in this session. Myself, Assistant Professor Vipul Gupta from LJ School of Law. So today we'll discuss the subject of law of torts, and in which I'm going to discuss extrajudicial remedies. Now, what is extrajudicial remedies? The remedies that are available out of the court, that means out of the court settlement you are doing, that is called extrajudicial remedies. So there are some extrajudicial remedies available in you out of the courtrooms. The first is self-help, second is re-entry on land, third is reception of goods, the last is distress damage feasant. So first is self-help. Self-help is everyone has a right to help themselves. If someone is trying to hitting me, I have a right to save myself. So I can also show him my action. So in action I can show my own reaction. So self-help is there. So if anyone is hurting your property or you can take self-defense on that side, and that is available, that is you can do that, it is your legal right, but that has some proportion, that if someone is hitting me with a stick, I cannot hit them with a knife. So there must be some proportionate self-defense is available. So if you are using your self-help for saving you or your property or your thing, that is that you can do because you are legal, right? So if you are using self-help for saving your things, it is practically applicable to you, and it is a good right that you are using it. So no one can file a case against you because you are using self-defense. So self-defense is available to you whenever anyone is infringing your right, or anyone is causing damage to you or your property. But their self-defense has some proportionate, that you can use the force in the same proportion, not beyond that. As I said, if someone is using stick, I can only use stick, or you can save myself by using something which is proportionate to that damage, but I cannot use gun or a knife because just to save myself. So there must be in a proportion way. Second is re-entry on land. For example, anyone disposed of you from your own land using your own land, you can enter in your land again and can take your right, but everything should be in a peaceable manner. Everything should be in a quiet mode where you can chat with that person in conversation with a peace mode. You can enter in your land, and that will happen. Then you have the extrajudicial remedy available here. You just discuss with that person about your rights, about your land, and you can re-entry on your land because that person has wrongfully taken your land, and by using your own right you just got entry in your land. Then that person cannot file a case against you because it is your own land. But keep in mind that all things should be done in a very peaceful manner. If you are using any violative manner for taking your land back, that cannot be available. So if you are out of the court, you are discussing that person, you are taking your land back by just solving it through in a peaceful manner, and you are coming back to your own land, re-entry on your land, that is extrajudicial remedy available to you. Then next is reception of goods. For example, I wrongfully disposed of my goods to your land, and I have a right to take them back. So whenever I by mistake or my cattle just roaming around, they enter into your land, you cannot keep them with you, but I have a right to take them back. So any parcel which is in my name came into your place, then I have a right to take it back. So that is called reception of good. And if you give it to me back without any anything action that are taken by you, then I have there is a extrajudicial remedy available to me, because we just converse it with each other when you are giving back my goods to me. So reception of goods over here. So whenever any person whose goods has been lost to any other person's land, or have just passed to any other person's land and they are giving it to me, and I take my goods back, it is a reception of goods, is a extrajudicial remedies available to the plaintiff. Now, like to receipt of good, the second is distress damage feasant. Now, distress means right to detain, that I have a right to keep certain goods. Damage means injury, that damage caused to you, and feasant means wrongful act. So any of your goods cause damage to my land, then I have a right to keep that goods. Again, take examples of kettles. My kettles just they are roaming around my house and they just enter into your premises and they cause damage in your house or in your farm. Then you have a right to keep that kettles in your home till I don't give you the compensation. So have a distress that, but there are three things you have to prove. Distress, that means you have a right to keep. Why you have a right to keep? Because that kettles belongs to me and that have caused damage to you, and it was a wrongful act by me. So here, by proving this act, you have a right to keep my kettles or my things in your place, and till I don't give the compensation, you can keep them. So this can be another way of extrajudicial remedies, where you just keep the things in your hand. Or first example, like children are playing cricket and they just hit ball on break my glass. I don't give ball back to them till they just repair my glass. So their parents. So here the same thing, they must be caused damage to me, to my property, and have a right to keep the things that has caused damage to me. So this is about the distress damage present. So today we have discussed about the extrajudicial remedies, that means remedies available outside the court or outside court settlement. So we have seen 4 things. First is self-help, then second is receipt of good, third is re-entry on land, and last is distress damage freedom. So these are the extrajudicial remedies available to you. Thank you.